had always been a skeptic. Ghost stories, paranormal encounters, all of it felt like fiction designed to scare people who wanted to believe in something beyond reality. But that changed the night I found the story. It was late, and I was scrolling through Reddit, looking for something unsettling to read before bed. No Sleep was filled with the usual mix of supernatural encounters and eerie coincidences. But one post caught my eye. It had no upvotes, no comments, as if it had been posted just seconds ago. The title sent a chill down my spine. The horror story I read on Reddit started happening to me. My curiosity got the best of me, and I clicked. The post began like any other. The author described their love for horror stories, how they enjoyed reading through creepy Reddit threads late at night. But then, as they continued, the details became eerily familiar. He's sitting in his dimly lit room scrolling through Reddit. He doesn't realize how late it's gotten. There's a half-empty drink on his desk. His phone is next to him, face down. The only sound is the faint hum of his computer fan. He doesn't know it yet, but someone is watching him. I felt the hairs on my arms rise. That was me. I glanced at my desk. The drink, my phone, the hum of my computer fan filling the silence. I swallowed hard and kept reading. He starts feeling uneasy now, but he keeps reading. He shifts in his chair, his breath slowing. He tells himself it's just a coincidence, that the words on the screen are nothing more than a trick of his mind. But then his phone buzzes. The air in my room felt heavier, as if something had shifted. My stomach twisted as I looked down at my phone. It was still face down, still silent. I hesitated, my heart pounding in my ears. Then my phone buzzed. I nearly knocked over my drink as I grabbed it. The screen lit up. Unknown number. I didn't answer. I forced myself to look back at the Reddit post. The page had refreshed on its own. The story had changed. He ignores the call. He tells himself it's nothing, but he's wrong. It's already too late. He'll hear the knock next. I barely had time to process the words before. A knock. 3 soft taps against my door. I shot up from my chair, my pulse hammering so hard I could feel it in my throat. My apartment was silent, too silent. The kind of silence that made you hyper-aware of every sound, every shadow. I stared at the door, my mind racing through possibilities. A neighbor? A prank? Or was I inside the story now? My phone buzzed again. Another message. Don't open it. I wasn't breathing anymore. My eyes flicked back to my computer screen. The Reddit post had updated. He's standing at the door. He's holding his breath. He's about to make the wrong choice. I could barely think. My hand hovered over the doorknob. I didn't want to open it. I knew I shouldn't open it. But my body wasn't listening. I twisted the knob. The door creaked open an inch, just enough for me to peer into the dimly lit hallway. My apartment complex was quiet. No movement, no footsteps. Just the faint flickering of the overhead light casting long shadows against the walls. No one was there. Or so I thought. I exhaled, a shaky breath escaping my lips. My pulse was still racing, but I forced myself to believe it was just a weird coincidence. A prank. Maybe someone had knocked on the wrong door. I started to close it. Then I noticed something. At the very end of the hallway, just before the turn to the stairwell, a figure stood perfectly still. My breath caught in my throat. The lighting was too dim to make out any details, but something about its posture was wrong. It wasn't standing naturally. It was too still, like a mannequin placed at the end of a darkened hallway. It wasn't facing me. Then, without moving its body, its head turned. Slowly, deliberately. I slammed the door shut and locked it. My hands were trembling as I stumbled back, my mind racing through every possible explanation. Then my computer screen flickered. I turned, my stomach dropping. The Reddit post had updated again. He saw it. He shut the door, but that won't help. A soft whisper brushed against my ear. "Keep reading." I spun around, my back pressing against the door. My room was empty. The only light came from my screen, casting eerie shadows along the walls. Then my phone buzzed. I didn't want to look, but I did. A new message. Unknown number. Turn around. I squeezed my eyes shut. My breathing was ragged, uneven. This wasn't possible. It couldn't be happening. A new sound filled the room. Pages turning. Not from my computer. Not from my phone. From behind me. My closet door, which had been closed, was now slightly ajar. Inside, in the darkness, something moved. The Reddit post updated one last time. The story ends when he does. My screen went black, and the whispering started again. The whispering grew louder, not just a sound but a presence, curling around me like unseen fingers brushing against my skin. The closet door creaked open another inch. I couldn't move. My instinct screamed at me to run, to get out, but my body refused to obey. My breath came in short, panicked bursts as my eyes locked onto the darkness inside the closet. Something was there. Not a person, not an object. A shape, shifting, twitching just beyond the threshold of sight. My phone buzzed again, vibrating violently in my hand. Unknown number. I didn't answer. The whispering stopped. The silence that followed was worse. Then, my phone lit up with a new message. "You're in the story now." The air turned ice cold. The closet door swung open. Darkness swallowed the space inside, but in the center of it, something was watching me. I could feel it. I turned to run, but the lights went out. Total blackness. For a moment, there was nothing. No sound. No movement. Then, right next to my ear, a voice. "The story isn't over." And everything went dark. I don't remember what happened next. When I woke up, I wasn't in my chair. I wasn't even in my apartment. I was outside. The cold night air hit me first, sharp and biting against my skin. My body ached like I had been standing in the same position for hours. My hands were trembling. I was barefoot, standing in the middle of an empty parking lot several blocks away from my apartment. I didn't know how I got there. My phone was still in my hand. The screen was cracked, but still glowing. One new message. "You left, but we're not done." My stomach twisted. My apartment key was still in my pocket. I could go back, pretend none of this had happened, try to convince myself that it was a dream. But deep down, I already knew the truth. Something had followed me. The wind howled through the empty streets, carrying with it a whisper. "Keep reading." I turned my phone off. I walked away. I didn't look back. But no matter where I go, I still hear it. Every time I scroll through Reddit, every time I turn off the lights, a whisper just beyond the edge of hearing. The story isn't over. I don't go on Reddit anymore. I don't scroll through horror threads, I don't read late-night stories, and I don't let curiosity pull me into things I don't understand. But it doesn't matter, because the story never ended. Some nights, my phone buzzes with no caller ID. I never answer. Some mornings I wake up to find my closet door slightly open, even though I know I closed it. And sometimes, just sometimes, when my room is completely silent, I hear it. A whisper. Right behind me. Keep reading. Was this story real, or just another dark web mystery? Let me know in the comments. If you love creepy stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new tale. But remember, some stories should never be left unfinished.